Good evening. I'm Jennifer Alvarez.
And I'm Cedric Weldon. This is Malibu 12 News.
We start tonight with a school bus accident southeast of Santa Maria. 3 high school students and the bus driver remain hospitalized. The bus was on its way to Santa Maria Joint Union High. A farm truck in an oncoming lane had a mechanical arm sticking out that struck the bus, smashing the windshield and hitting the driver in the face. She lost control. The bus swerved, crashing through a fence and striking a tree. The driver was seriously hurt, but still conscious when firefighters cut her out of the bus. Police and witnesses say, despite her injuries, she did everything she could to control the bus and save others from injuries.
But she did a great job driving because that thing could have flipped 3 times and she kept it on all 4 wheels. I mean, she deserves she definitely deserves a medal for driving.
The driver of the farm truck was identified as 25-year-old Hugo Medina. The Sheriff's Department is investigating how the mechanical arm came loose and whether Medina will face charges.
A Carpinteria High School football player has been seriously injured in a car accident. It happened Saturday night in Carpinteria as the player, Jonathan Escada, was alone in his car. Police report there were 3 people in the vehicle that struck his, and they ran from the scene. 2 of the 3 have now been caught. Police aren't saying if one had been the driver. The collision was on Linden Avenue at El Carl Lane, where evidence of the wreckage includes a damaged utility box. The Carpinteria High School marquee has a positive message for Escada, who has head, chest, and pelvic injuries. His coaches have since been to the hospital.
You know, one of the first things he wanted to know if he was going to be able to go to football practice on Monday, which just kind of breaks your heart. But
it's also a good sign. It
was a good sign, and he didn't have any really recollection of the crash, itself. But he was able to speak, and you know, it was all a very good sign.
6 deputies from Santa Barbara County have been assigned to investigate the crash.
Wishing him a speedy recovery. The city of Santa Barbara does not have a gang injunction, but one could be coming soon. City leaders say a court could rule on the matter by the end of this month. An injunction would limit the activities of about 30 known gang members in areas designated as safety zones. The public is invited to voice opinions about a gang injunction during a community meeting this Saturday.
If you oppose the injunction, we want to hear your voice. If you support it, come and tell us why. Eventually, the pro-youth movement will take a delegation to the authorities, such as the police department, and we want to open a dialogue about how the injunction is implemented if the court orders it.
That meeting starts tomorrow at 1 o'clock afternoon at Trinity Church on State Street. Lompoc and Oxnard already have gang injunctions, and both are similar to the one proposed for Santa Barbara.
There's a new development in a bedbug infestation at a homeless shelter in San Luis Obispo. Jeff Stone lived there for a time and he was among those who were bitten. Now he's suing the operators of the shelter, demanding $500,000 in damages. The suit claims the people who run the shelter knew there were problems, yet they ignored them. We covered it here on Malibu 12 News when the facility was shut down last month for a few days to treat the infestation. Stone says he was bitten before and developed an infection which was treated at a hospital emergency room. Since our report, the building has been disinfected and the homeless people there have been informed they can no longer bring their own bedding.
Flu season is here, but the good news is that doctors say there's a more powerful vaccine available this year. The previous flu vaccine covered 3 flu strains, but scientists have now discovered one that covers 4, and that's available starting this week. About 30 million doses have been sent to clinics, hospitals, pharmacies, and doctors' offices nationwide. We asked people outside one pharmacy here in Malibu if the new vaccine makes it more likely that they'll get the shot.
I would consider getting one, I guess. I don't normally make a habit out of it, but, you know, I'd consider it, sure.
How about you?
I wouldn't.
Why?
I don't believe they work.
The new vaccine comes in nasal spray too. You can learn a lot more about flu shots, including this new vaccine, by visiting the website for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. That's at cdc.gov.
Now for our favorite morning vaccine. If you're a daily coffee drinker, it seems you're drinking to your health. A new study finds those cups of joe may actually boost longevity. The researchers at the Harvard School of Public Health found people who drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day had a 15% lesser chance of dying early, and that's compared to those people who don't drink coffee at all. The new findings in the published medical journal Circulation have good news for decaf drinkers as well. It works for you too.
Maybe I can actually live to be 100. In other news, the Malibu Playhouse is about to get a new owner. The theater, put on the market last summer, finally has a buyer and is in escrow. It was originally listed for $4.9 million, but the actual sale price hasn't been made public yet. The Malibu Playhouse on Pacific Coast Highway has been used for live local theater performances since 2002. The 99-seat theater is on a 6.5-acre property that includes a plant nursery, a ranch house, a kitchen, and a 50-space parking lot. The Playhouse will continue to operate during the ownership change. It's actually even presenting a full lineup of plays during December by the Young Actors Project.
All right, you ready for this? Let's get into the holiday mood by checking the current value of all the gifts in the holiday song, The 12 Days of Christmas. The Christmas Price Index, as it's called, comes from PNC, an investment company in Pittsburgh. 9 of the 13 items mentioned in the song stayed the same as last year, but the partridge in the pear tree went up $5 this year to $25. Also, 2 turtle doves, pardon my falsetto, the pair now costs $290, up $30 from last year. As for those 10 Lords of Leaping, they did leap 3% over the last year to $5,500. Now let's just say you want to go out and buy all the gifts spelled out in the final verse of the song. They just cost you over $34,000. That's an expensive 12 days.
No, absolutely. And still with the wintry spirit, we want to close with something cute enough to melt an icy heart. Have a look. It seems dogs are not just a man's best friend. This is in Canada, and we're seeing the softer side of a large polar bear as it pets a small sled dog. The tour guide who recorded this says he was surprised at the bear's human-like affection for the dog. Both animals showed curiosity about the other, and he says they had an overall easygoing encounter.
That's such an uncommon occurrence.
Oh, absolutely, but isn't it just adorable?
Yeah, I guess so. I kind of want to be pet by a polar bear now, don't you?
Oh, I don't know if I'd take that chance.
Well, that's all for us for now. More news at 11. I'm Cedric Welton.
And I'm Jennifer Alvarez. Have a good night.